There we go. Can everybody hear me? Yep. Excellent. Welcome, everyone, to another exciting edition of Office Hours. I'm Brett, your host, and today we have with us the Dark Lord of Falcon, who needs no introduction.
Hello guys. Let's thank John Williams for the music and Brett for the introduction. So yeah, it's a bit hard for me to do it in this format. I'll have to adjust. It's hard talking to the black void or a white void in this case. Today we're going to talk about the Falcon Mapraid, and if you guys recall, a year and a bit ago, we introduced Falcon in the North American Mega Meetup. And since then, Falcon has been, Falcon was launched in September to Android, and iOS is still slowly rolling out. And during the launch, we saw some issues regarding the map and the quality of our mapping and also the standards that we define in the beginning. So we asked you guys to do something that seemed pretty impossible, which was to fix roughly 2 million segments around the world. And internally, we estimated that within 200,000 to 300,000 segments are going to be fixed. And basically, a lot more was done. So I'm going to talk about it today a bit. This is going to be most of the time will be for Q&A. So feel free to ask almost any question. And without further ado, let's talk about the Mapraid results for Falcon. All right, so the numbers are crazy. Over 40 Mapraids were conducted by you guys with more than 700 editors actively editing the map. And almost 3.1 million segments were either edited or created. So only 3 of us here, but we're still going to give you a round of applause because this is really amazing. Really, I mean, everyone was shocked. And we actually, this caused a lot of noise internally about the huge effect that the Waze community has. So basically, let's show you some statistics, and then we can jump to a few examples if you guys want, and of course questions. It's a bit hard to work with this, but I'll try. So this is essentially all the segments that were edited, created, and so all the figures per country and per region in the North American area. Really amazing numbers, crazy amount of edits. It's really mind-boggling. I cannot really stress this hard enough. Zoom on. Oh, sure. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right. Yeah. So now I'll do it again. So hi, my name is Gil. No, I'm kidding. But you can see the segments. I mean, not the segments. Sorry, the list of countries and regions. It's really, I mostly care about this. This is like a crazy high number, and this is also a crazy high number. It's fantastic. Now let's look on the before and after image for North America. We did row, but actually we'll do row as well because we have members. I saw someone from Brazil as well, and probably other areas. So we'll do row as well. So this is essentially we'll share all this with you. You don't have to remember it or to try and find your state there. These are the changes. So basically, anything in the minus means that it's an improvement. The distance is lower. Anything in yellow is not an improvement, not necessarily a worsening of the condition, but not detectable improvement. And as you can see, it's mostly green. And if you sum everything, everything was improved, like dramatically across the board. So it's really crazy. For rest of world, we have 1 second. I'll do it again here. Again, it's a bit different. Actually, here it's much greener. I have a few ideas why, and I'm going to test my theories and republish the figures for North America. I use different methods for North America, and I think I might not be 100% correct in the comparison. I'll need to double check it, but still, we still see an improvement. I think it's actually better than what is reflected here in the sheet. So back to the presentation, and now let's talk about improvements. Basically, let's do this. Yeah. Can you see my? All right. So I'm going to show a few examples for some changes that I semi-randomly picked some areas to look on. So basically, this road moved a bit to the left. Again, it looks a bit, but it's more than 10 meters to the left, basically. So again, just a small change, but it's really cool to see that it actually is in the right place. This ramp is really interesting because to me it shows that this was an undivided road, and just looking at the position where the ramp forked from the road, and by forking again, I don't know who edited it. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, I guess I'm right. And this was a single segment that was split. And this allows us to have a proper dogleg here. And Falcon's dogleg detection will detect this as a dogleg and will, see the slow veering of the car towards the exit. It's a really good change. It really improved the statistics, the figures there in this round by a lot. Another really cool one is this one. Again, if you look on this one, 1 second, I think it's not the latest geometry. Yeah, again, same story. By looking at the history, I see that we had the same thing here. This road was probably one segment, and now it's divided. It looks much cleaner, and again, it will improve Falcon's performance by a lot, especially when we introduce road width. It's really awesome. I'm going to skip a few more examples, but I want to show something that is WTF moment for me. And I don't know, do we have guys from California on the call? Guys? Any editor or community champ from California? I don't know. So if yes, please look on this guy. It's definitely in the wrong location. It kind of jumped when I did my analysis to do a before and after. You can see the GPS samples that are showing that there's a new ramp probably going around here. And there's another one, I think it was, 1 second. Yeah. I'll refresh just to be interesting tracking. Yeah. This road is also the I-10 West, probably east as well. They need to just move. Again, I'm just showing this. Yeah, you're right. 9 a.m. I woke up before 9 a.m. So if I can wake up before 9 a.m., everyone can wake up before 9 a.m. Come on. In any case, all I'm saying is that I'm showing this because these kind of jumped as unhandled issues. All in all, it's still a huge improvement, but it shows that we can do a bit more if we want to. So that's about these things. And now, okay, so Canada did nothing for Falcon yet. It's good to know, actually. because I did see a lot for Canada that wasn't done. So actually, I have an example here from Canada. So okay, good to know. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna stop my screen share. All right, so let's do some questions. Okay, should we? Yeah, I think so. No, I have more. Oh yeah, I do have more slides. Oh, it's good that we have someone. We have a responsible adult in the room. So that's a good thing. Give me a second. I'll try to get to the yeah. Oh wow. Wow. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we do have. So, we're also introducing this awesome badge. I forgot about probably the most important thing in the map raid. The reason we all wake up in the morning. These awesome badges, because I get one too. I edited almost 1,000 well, a few hundreds in Israel, hoping to get to 1,000 for Falcon, not in general. So we all get awesome badges, and that's it, I think, right? I forgot the badge. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and applause to you guys. To you guys. As you can see, we practice this a lot, actually. Yes, we
Scooch over. All right. Erez, our engineer, is going to queue us up some questions. Do we have questions waiting in the dock for us? Excellent. So let's see who our first question is from. From Santiago. Can we have map problems of segments that need to be adjusted for Falcon?
Yes. That's the plan. We don't want to send spreadsheets anymore, and the idea is that we're going to create a few systems to analyze all this in the background and create. The problem with map problems is that we want to make sure we don't recreate the same map problem for the same segment in a different location. In a nutshell, you guys will get the map problems, and also we'll add some statistics on the problem, what we think it should be, and stuff like that. It also links probably someone is going to ask about it, but I'll just link it to the GPS layer that will be improved, and will help us to hint where the road should be specifically for that segment, not just to give you the GPS track, but also say the guy drove there, the GPS trail for that segment was there, and we suspect that the segment should be moved to this location. So it's going to be a bit more than just a map problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. From John, can we get a clearer GPS layer?
Yes, just again, I'll just get a bit deeper into that. The regular GPS layer will remain as is. There's going to be a new GPS layer that will contain GPS samples that are specifically linked to the segment, so we know that the person drove there, and they will allow you to, for example, select a segment and see the GPS trail for that specific segment, and it's going to be a bit nicer to the eyes. It's not going to be just arrows. It's going to be a line with some how do you say it? Like a histogram, where you can see the center of the GPS trail will be really strong, and the sides will have some borders, so you can try and also ascertain the width of the road, for example.
Cool.
So good question.
There's another question here. Let's look on the screen.
What?
We have another question.
How to get the badge?
So the badge will be available in the forum immediately after we finish today. I'm going to be posting a whole bunch of information on that original forum post that advertises this office hours session. So take a look out on the forum for that, and we'll make sure that if you're eligible, you'll get your Mapraid badge. And we have another one from the chat. Do we know when the enhanced JB for LG will be out? Also, heuristics resolution.
So junction box for lane guidance will be added in a different way than you would. Well, I'm getting into details. It's not secret. It's just that it's too many details. Long story short, we will get it. It's planned for not. It's planned for this year. I don't want to give you dates I'm taking this back. Okay. I don't want to throw dates in the air. It's going to be a bit different. We're going to essentially revamp junction boxes a bit. And actually, you can see the beginning of the revamp today. It's actually fresh from a couple of hours ago. If you go to the beta editor, you can see that you can actually move a node in the junction box. It's part of the junction box revamp scheme. We want to make junction boxes less horrible. So you'll have that.
And we have more questions coming in the chat. This is so hot tonight. So can GPS layer have option for newer GPS data rather than the current delayed layer, which has been curated? It would be nice to have a GPS data for roads are actively being renovated.
Very good question. The answer is yes. We will have a way to. We're still not sure about how granular that's going to be, but you can choose at least the time, sort of a time period, like a month or 3 months and so on, to get the GPS tracks for that segment with the new system.
All right, great. Let's take another question. Let's move on from GPS. The display disabled turns only shows the disabled turns for nodes with Falcon. I've added a lot of JBs. Can restricted turns through JB be added to the display when selected?
I have to read it again slowly because I'm not sure I understand. Display disabled turns only shows the disabled turns for nodes. With Falcon, we've added a lot of junction boxes. Can restrict turns to junction boxes. Gotcha. You want to essentially see, if I understand correctly, you want to be able to see the junction boxes in a clear way without going to the junction box and mark each one of them. Not sure if can LC answer in the question. If so, then we'll just add it. We'll talk with the UX guys and see what we can do about it. Makes sense. Again, junction boxes are going to be dramatically changed. So, okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's pull up our next question.
I saw that, LC, but that's okay.
This is correct.
And I don't like deal, by the way. People say no deal for Gil when they put like deal, the
No dill?
no deal. I don't like deal. Like the
Right, the
I
spice.
think it's 2 L's, right?
DILL. Yeah.
That doesn't matter. Still,
Okay.
it was supposed to be funny.
Let's
Yeah.
move on
I
to
imagine that you guys laughed, but
to our next question. We get ongoing regular reports similar to the Falcon raid reports so that we can continue to find issues that arise in the future. For example, construction that shifts the roadway over, like California I-10 example, but which editors might not have known about.
I think we answered that already.
Yeah.
We will get map problems when I'll move to the. We'll have map problems for these kind of things, and yes, if you have any specific requests, then Sketch, you can just ping me or whatever. If that's not enough, or actually, if you want to, if that's not enough, tell us now, and we'll just answer so everyone can see it.
Sure. All right, let's take up the next question. Any idea when an increase in number of allowed routes in a junction box? No.
Actually, yes, it's it was already increased, but it doesn't work, and we are it actually it's more complex than it sounds. So it is it's still being tested in our staging environment, and I'll have to get back to you with a more concrete timeline for that, but it is planned.
We might have to do an office hours just on junction boxes in the near future.
Yeah, well, actually, we should do a burial ceremony for junction boxes. They should be buried in a very, like grand way.
How wonderfully macabre. That's a great idea.
Yeah, let's bury junction boxes and make something really cool. And thank you, Sketch. I saw the replies. That's good. Good to know.
Thanks. Let's move on to our next question. Falcon still seems to want to send the car's arrow down side streets when driving without a route.
Mhm.
This happens even in areas that have been reviewed and improved for Falcon snapping. How is that being addressed?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a different bug that we need to address. It's not, the mapping can be perfect, and I assume it happens more with iOS. Let me know, Jason, if I'm wrong here. Let me know. I haven't seen it with Android. It has something to do with the way that we draw the chevron or the car, and we need to address that. It's an open bug. It's not a mapping problem, and I'll have to say that I am sorry. So you are on iOS, yeah, it's a known issue for iOS, which is, by the way, one of the reasons it's not fully out yet, as an FYI.
Thanks, Jason. Let's move on to our next question. From Alex, the examples you showed look to be recent construction. If Falcon requires more precision, could areas with detected issues automatically be flagged for imagery updates?
Yes and no, not automatically, unfortunately, but we are working on an improved and streamlined method for you guys to reach the Google Maps team that is responsible for aerial imagery. And I think we already mentioned it in one of the earlier, I think in the meetup we mentioned it, that we already caused Google to change their schedule for image requirement. Requirement is the word?
Yeah.
Requirement, okay. And we'll get improved imagery based on your feedback. So if you see something like that, then definitely get back to us. But again, to be honest, a good GPS layer should make the aerial imagery updates less of an issue. If you have a proper GPS trail with a very strong line for the center of the road, and again, the nice bevel on the side, you should be able to just say, okay, the road just moved and I can fix it. You don't need the aerial imagery for that, but yeah.
Awesome. Great question, Alex.
Chat, please.
And we're going to take a question from chat from Marcin. We have some complaints that the voice command are later than in pre-Falcon time and driver is passing by the turn. Can it be tuned? So basically people are missing their turns.
Interesting. This actually shouldn't happen. We should improve this by a few seconds at least. So it would be, if you can send the community managers a few links for such map problems, or PURs, whatever the guys are sending, URs, I guess, then we can look at it. It shouldn't really happen.
All right, we're going to take another one from chat. If you launch the MP, could it send a request to update the satellite view?
I think we already
we
had this
requested
question.
that. It's
not automatically, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is something we run into in our work as SCMs as well a lot too. This is really the difference between Waze and Google Maps. So we can definitely submit these requests to Google Maps, but we can't directly control the satellite imagery, unfortunately. All right, so we're going to take our next question. When are we getting junction boxes that work on roundabouts?
Yes, excellent question. Soon. No, but no. Here's the thing. It's in staging. I can actually show you how it works. It's working. We have an issue with, never mind, an annoying issue with something that shouldn't have an issue. It's already working in WME. You can do that. Also, the routing will allow you to do that. So just to be clear, this will allow you to override any. Do it show us? Yeah, why not? Give me a second.
We're going to play musical chairs real quick.
So now what we're gonna have is that I will do it, and I'll probably use a version of, I don't know what's installed right now in the staging environment. There's a good chance it will not work, but let's try anyway. Who knows? Let's see if we'll have a Bill Gates moment or not. So give me a second. I'll log in, and then we can. just to be clear, it's basically going to work normally like in production, but the save will work. That's the only difference you guys are going to see, because you can do it now. Give me a second. I'll do it now. I'm gonna actually
Let us know when we can share screen.
I need to find
a junction box.
I need to find a good roundabout in the staging. Something that will allow me to. Yeah, I think this is good enough. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
You are. So
I am sharing. Oh yeah, please do.
Yes.
Yes.
Ready?
We are ready.
I am ready.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so this is my roundabout. Actually, let's make it a bad roundabout. Let's take like. What's wrong with my? Give me a second. I'll take a different roundabout. Okay, perfect. So now let's define a junction box. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Got it. So now I can go here and go there and do voice prompt. Like, let's say turn left. Even though this is like a really annoying roundabout, there's another supposedly turn left here, right? I mean, you have a lefter, and left. But still, if, for example, for this one, you want to say continue straight, right? So you say continue. And now you hit save. Saving your information. Oh, wait. That's right. Oopsie daisy. Now I understand why I can't do anything. Sorry about that. Give me a second. Log in.
What is your password?
It's the staging environment. Nobody cares. It's nothing. All right. So let's do continue here, right? This is not going to be a continuous straight, right? The angles just don't actually, you know what? This is not going to be a continuous straight, right? We all agree. So I'm going to go here. So this is different. What's going on here? Voice prompt. Continue. It's the new UI. You're not supposed to see it, I guess. I don't know. Are we allowed to show stuff from staging? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So we now have an override here on the instruction for this specific leg. And if we are going to do it from here, for example, we can do the same. And we should also have, just to be clear, there should be a numbered here. Not just non-numbered, and then once you do numbered, it will count for that specific exit.
We won't tell you.
Okay. It is recorded in YouTube, so I'm doomed. I'm going to be fired or something. I don't know.
I will protect you. It's okay.
Thank you, guys.
Let's switch it over and move to our next question.
Thank you, Lisa, for the question.
And thank you, Lisa. And our next question's from Matt. Do we know when the enhanced junction box for LG will be out? Also, resolution on the broken heuristics.
I think we just
Come and talk into the
actually,
camera.
yes.
Let's talk to the people.
Hello. Yes, I don't care about.
They're all
I care
here.
about the editors. They're not people. Are you guys people? I don't know.
You guys are people.
Are you? Okay.
Well, I'm not, but
they are. Okay. We discussed this earlier.
I'm a digital sentience.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We had this conversation
Yes.
earlier.
Okay. Moving on.
So, lane guidance and junction box. Again, we should probably do a different session on junction boxes. We are planning a huge revamp for them. Lane guidance will be introduced on junction boxes, but not in the way you think it will be. It's going to be, in my opinion, better. So hopefully in your opinion as well. Otherwise, I'm screwed. But yes. Okay.
Great. Thanks, Matt. Let's go to our next question.
Question from Lisa.
And another question from Lisa. Any idea when the phase of lanes will be out?
Excellent question.
Turns.
The same answer as before, because it's planned to be together. Essentially, I guess that you are talking about preferred lanes and stuff like that. Is that correct? So it's essentially a complex lane guidance that is not just for this specific turn, but also for a next turn and so on. And if that's what you asked about, then the answer is yes.
Great.
I mean, yes is not the answer for this one. It's this answer cannot be answered with a binary answer in theory. But
Well, if your answer is soon, then that is
the answer
not the right answer either.
The answer is that it's planned to be tied with the junction box change that we're going to introduce. We call it far lanes, but that's the idea. Far lanes will allow us to have preferred lanes and so on.
Great. Moving on. Next question from LC. Can we get timed GPS? So later GPS are emphasized compared to older GPS regarding trying to map new ramps or roundabouts.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we will have a way to control the freshness of the GPS data you see. So it's not exactly what you asked for, but you will get sort of a way to control that and look on your samples. Again, it's really hard to give you really fresh. I wanted to have like a week's worth of data, but due to privacy reasons, it's becoming a real nightmare. So we have to somehow walk between the the lines and see what we can do and not break privacy regulations in the rule.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up. So our next question is from Pete. How important is it to adjust segments for a lane shift during a construction project? Is there a time component that would make it worth it 1 week versus 1 month? That's very interesting.
It is a good question without a good answer. It's up to you, and the thing is that there's no single answer for this. So I'll try to explain. If this is, for example, a construction project that is occurring in the center of a highway and there's no ramp before or after that specific construction area, then Falcon will just work. If there is a fork nearby, then it might be worth to think about it. And again, if it's 1 week, I don't know, because it can take a couple of days for the tiles to be built and then a couple of days for the tile to be built again. So we're not really necessarily improving it by a lot. If it's 1 month, then definitely do change the construction. Change the area for that construction area.
All right.
The road for that construction area. I hope that it was a reasonable answer for an unanswerable
question.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Pete. Let's go to our next question. From Carrie, it would be lovely if the app could gather GPS accuracy data when recording the drive. The accuracy varies a lot during the drive.
Carrie is correct. That's also planned, not to not specifically provide the data, but at least filter out really bad GPS samples. So it will pollute the GPS there a lot less, and also allow us to improve, again, all the newer GPS layers that we are looking into adding. We will take that into consideration.
Great. Let's move on. From Carlos, what's the difference between raw GPS within the app and what is seen in the WME GPS points layer? If the app sometimes the raw value is far from the segment, but in WME, the segments are aligned correctly with the GPS layer.
So the GPS layer is not necessarily your drive. The GPS layer is comprised of drives that were conducted by other drivers. And their GPS could have issues or could be perfect, and your GPS could have issues and theirs would be perfect. I have to breathe. And also remember that a road has width. So if you're driving on a 6-5 lane road, then by definition you're going to be away from the center of that road. So it's not really easy to ascertain it just from a single drive. Long story short, the raw GPS shows you your GPS position, again, without the radius for the accuracy. So just the center of what the GPS chip tells us. The GPS layer is being assembled from many other drives, not yours necessarily.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Carlos, for your question. Let's move on to our next. From Alex, Falcon regularly snaps me to segments in a neighboring property when I start my route from home. Can Falcon's rules be relaxed early in a route to help overcome this? Under Falcon, I often do not have an accurate location by the time I need to make my first turn.
Please send logs. Really, I make sure that your debug is on. Send logs. Reach out to the community managers. They will reach out to me, and I will get one of the QA guys to analyze your drive and see what happened there. And it could be a bug. Falcon is relatively young. Relatively,
All right. Well, thank you. Let's move on.
Thanks, Alex.
From Ryan, can you fix the hierarchy so Waze prefers an RPPHN over a bad Google Maps address result? This is a huge problem that I get lots of URs for.
I don't know. No, seriously, I have no idea if we can do that. It's not. I don't. Why would we take a Google Maps address and thought that this wasn't a thing anymore? So this it's not really a Falcon question. It's more of a product question that I should be able to answer as well. Don't tell me I don't know the answer. We'll have to get back to you with that one because I don't have an answer I'm 100% comfortable with giving about this.
All right, so Ryan, reach out to your SCM and we will make sure we get back to you if you send us an email. Let's move on to our next question. From Alex, will the improved GPS layer eliminate the issue of beeline traces in areas of poor data network coverage?
Not necessarily, unfortunately, because that's a different problem with the way that we send the GPS samples. But it's a good input that we do need to fix that. So, Erez, can you please take a note of this? Okay, okay, perfect. So we will have to make sure that we are going to prioritize this because it's a different issue that needs to be addressed.
All right, thanks for the question,
Thanks,
Alex. Let's move on. This is our last question. From John. All right, there's one more after this. Where's my TU? It's delayed again.
Okay, I had to basically run a spelling analysis in my mind because I've never heard of styles update being referred to as TU.
I was a little
I
lost
think it's
too.
styles update. I'm sorry for not knowing all the acronyms.
John, let us know in the chat if we're right.
In any case, I don't know. Is it delayed? I
have no idea.
I admit that I have no idea as well. I can check it. Give me a second.
Okay.
I can check
Well, in the meantime, we'll move on to our last question. LC, for the junction box roundabout demo you showed, can you add the bypass segment at the lower left of the roundabout and restrict routes to prefer the bypass segment?
The answer is yes. Yes. That's part of the idea. The idea is that you can choose. The idea is that you can choose the preferred route to use sleep ramps to essentially bypass roundabouts, and then you don't have to do all kind of weird tricks to force the routing server to send you around that. And I see that the tiles are indeed pretty old in North America. I'll ping the guys and see what's going on with that. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
So that answers John's question and LC's. So are we ready to wrap? Do we have any last minute questions that came in fresh off the presses?
Yeah, asking if we can share the recording of this.
I think so, yeah.
So please
Yes.
Yes, but if you share it outside the community with all the cool, staging screenshots and stuff, I will have to, hunt you down,
So everything will be available on our YouTube channel immediately following this call. You'll see that it's going to automatically upload. We would also greatly encourage you to like and subscribe and make sure to hit that little bell at the bottom so that you're alerted whenever we have new sessions coming up. And also, please, we had a lot of questions about junction boxes, about a lot of other features. If you want to see us do office hours about these topics in the future, take the survey. The link is in the description, and it's also going to be emailed out to everybody who registered for this session previously. And let us know what you think. Give us your ideas for our next upcoming sessions. And I would really just like to thank all of you for joining us. I'd like to thank Gil for being here once again, our
Thank you.
Dark Lord of Falcon.
Dark Lord.
We had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah.
We have 2 more questions in the chat, so if we have time.
We have 2 more questions in the
Yeah,
chat,
we have
Gil.
time. Yeah, my wife. I told my wife I'm leaving at 8. So
So we have a
Yeah.
couple of minutes, and I guess I could do so. I have to do my sign off again. Are we good? Okay, forget it. We're gonna go straight to the
Yeah.
question. So where's our question in the chat here?
Honestly,
Typically on a map, we see GPS tracks with some kind of bias towards the inside of the curve. Why does this happen? Is this representative of the real track of Wazers?
excellent question, and basically the answer is it is not, because sometimes the line goes between buildings, and then it means that many Wazers are not really surviving the day. Basically, we don't get all the GPS points from a drive. We get just a subset, and we just create a line, straight line between each GPS point. So if someone is driving fast enough on a curved road, if you get a sample every 5 seconds, then if they drive, let's say they drove 50 kilometers an hour, they did 12, so it's roughly 70 meters that they just passed during that time, and that means that you'll have a very straight line cutting the curves. I guess that the follow-up question would be, why don't you just send more granular GPS samples? And the answer is, it's a crazy huge amount of data. But you're right, we should be able to address these things. And one of the things I'm trying to work on is not just send every X seconds, but every X meters. And that should allow us to send less samples when people drive slow and more samples when they drive fast. And that should kind of balance things out. But again, it's just one of the ideas I'm working on.
All right, let's take our last question for real, or also from Alexandre. Should we adjust the segments to this inwards GPS tracks?
I'm not sure what is the reference for this question.
Well, to the last question.
Oh,
So he's asking if you
no.
should adjust the
No. Okay, gotcha, thanks.
Yeah.
No. If you look, so here's the thing. We're going to release I think it's Sketch, right? Sketch did it? Yes? Thanks.
Yeah.
Sketch did the
That's what I'm releasing
Yeah.
after this.
Yeah, so
So can I?
yeah.
So immediately following this, I'm going to be posting in the forum, in the same forum post announcing this office hours, a manual for how to do Falcon Mapraids that our amazing community member in North America, Sketch, made for us. So we have all of this data compiled for you for best practices, how to troubleshoot, how to run your Mapraid, and that's going to be up in the forum in the next, I don't know, half an hour after this call. Hold me to it.
And just to be more specific, from that manual, you can see that one of the methods that needs to be done is to essentially sort of calibrate the GPS there, or calibrate the aerial view. If the aerial view, not on that specific curve, looks well and really well aligned with the GPS tracks, then you can turn off the GPS track and just use the aerial view for your mapping. That's the idea. So you don't care about these kind of straight lines and anomalies. So I hope this helps.
All right.
Cool.
Well, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm Brett, your favorite SCM with the shiniest head. I'm joined here by Gil. Thank you again for coming with us.
Thank you, Brett.
And thank all of you for joining us this evening. It's been a wonderful time. Like and subscribe, fill out the survey, and we'll see you again next month with more exciting content from Waze Community Office Hours. Erez, take us out. Night, everybody.
Bye.